Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be working on my April bullet journal theme, and the theme for the month is going to be SpongeBob. If you missed my last monthly journal with me video, it was my last video that I posted and I was so happy with how that one turned out. It's seriously probably like my top 3 favorite journal themes of all time. When I was trying to think of what I was going to do for April, I kept being like, oh my god, I'm not going to be able to top what I did last month, and I still feel that way. So I asked for requests on Instagram and on TikTok to see if anybody had any suggestions for journal themes, and somebody requested SpongeBob, and SpongeBob has actually been on my list of journal themes to do for a long time now, but I feel like now is going to be the perfect time because it's lighthearted, it's funny, it's goofy and silly, and I feel like no matter what it comes out looking like, I'm going to like it just because I love SpongeBob. Not only is SpongeBob just like a really funny and just really well written show, also is one that has spawned so many jokes and references and memes that are used all over the world every single day. There are so many things that I feel like people don't always remember are references from SpongeBob, so that is what we are going to do for April. I've already made a little Pinterest board of ideas, so I'm gonna send you over to my desk and we can check that out together. Okay, we're here at my desk. You're gonna hear my computer fan. I'm sorry about that. My computer's very old, so I have to deal with that. Anyway, I'm gonna show you my Pinterest board that I made. The first things that I pinned were the font, the logo font from SpongeBob, because I know that I want to use that. So I have 2 options over here. This one's like flatter. This one has like the sponge texture on it, and I pinned like the logo of the show, and then I really just like went crazy pinning a bunch of things from the show. I know I want at least one of the pages that I do to be a bunch of different like little icons from the show. I did something similar to this when I did my iCarly theme. I'll put a picture of the page that I'm talking about on screen right now. Like, I feel like iCarly had so many iconic props and like just things in the show that I just did this whole page where I just drew a bunch of them. I want to do the same thing for SpongeBob because there's so many funny things that you can draw. That's why I pinned this, like the dollar from the show, the hash slinging slasher, the wanted maniac sign, bold and brash, plankton, the roach eating the Krabby Patty. Like, there's so many things you can draw. And then I just pinned a bunch of other like really good reference material. So I have this like background painting from the show with all of the cool like coral. I love like the porthole windows from his house, which I feel like are pretty iconic and can be a good frame for like the title of a page or something. I love this background, which I think is from the opening sequence of the show, and I feel like that would be a really cool background to do for like a header or one of the pages. There's more like items, the bikini bottom sign, the jellyfish field sign. This is from the intro. There's like the sky with the flower clouds. I'm a goofy goober, of course. Here's another logo. This I laughed out loud at when I saw. So funny. Here's another good background. I loved the episode where Pearl turned the Krusty Krab into the Cuddly Crab. Loved that episode. That's when SpongeBob had to make 2 salads, which is a reference from SpongeBob that I say all the time. This is like SpongeBob's wallpaper in his house. It's a really good image of the outside of the house. Super Weenie Hut Jr., the jellyfish jelly, imagination, the secret recipe, Bubble Buddy. Like, there's so many good ones. What's funnier than 24/25? Of course. Goofy Goober. Love this. Love the on paper, the Krusty Krab pizza. Oh my god, I really had so much fun making this Pinterest board, and I haven't really decided what any of the pages are gonna look like yet, but I just wanted to have a lot of really good reference material. I'm gonna show you a spread that I did in my junk journal back in October that is going to be a good reference point for me as well. So if you guys didn't know, my birthday's in October and I turned 25, and of course when you turn 25 you have to have some sort of SpongeBob themed celebration, because what's funnier than 24 or 25? So I did this drawing on my birthday just like for fun because I had a slow work day on my birthday. Here is SpongeBob and Patrick cracking up, and it says what's funnier than 24/25. And I feel like I really like the way that these characters came out. Like, they look so good. I did all of this with just one set of Posca markers, which are these paint markers that I use all the time. If you watch my videos, you know that I love them. And like, all of these colors are like the perfect SpongeBob colors. So I think I'm gonna rely heavily on these. I have the, what is this? This is the 1.8 to 2.5 millimeter set, and this is the 0.9 to 1.3 millimeter set. So I'll probably be using these, maybe like some fine liners, but I feel like it'll be pretty simple to draw a lot of these things. And I'm so excited! Oh my god, I love SpongeBob. I need to do some sketching first to make sure I know what I'm doing, but I will come back to you once I have a little direction, okay? So forgive me while I film this voiceover if it's a little bit weird sounding because I'm filming this outside. It's finally nice outside where I live. But the first page that I started working on was my little calendar header. While I was looking at that Pinterest board, I thought that those backgrounds from the title sequence of the show would be so perfect as the background of a header. So that is what I chose to do for the calendar page. This background that I chose is from the opening sequence, and I used the like logo font of SpongeBob's like texture in the font as the title header. And I think it looks so cute. I used the Posca paint markers for the background and for the yellow, and then I used a Tombow marker that I had that matched like the green that they use for his shadows for the shadowing on the letters. And I feel like it looks so cute. The show has so many cute backgrounds, like behind all of the time cards and like the wallpapers in different houses and stuff. The textures are so cute and they're so fun to draw. I definitely recommend looking some up and doodling them in your sketchbook if you want a quick little sketchbook exercise to do. They're super simple to draw, especially if you have a paint pen set like these, because you can kind of go over colors on top of one another and they're super opaque, so you don't have to worry about like being too neat because you can always like go over your mistakes with a new color. I feel like it's a really great sketchbook exercise to do and just super fun. Now I showed on my Pinterest board that bamboo texture, which is also the dark blue and the light blue that SpongeBob has as the wallpaper in his house, and I actually ended up using that on one of my to-do like weekly spreads that I don't show in this video, but I just did it yesterday, the day before I'm filming the voiceover, and that one looks super cute too. Then for my divider page, I did a whole sketch and I didn't film any of it because I'm not good at sketching on camera. It like really messes with my creativity, but I knew I wanted to just do a really big iconic image of SpongeBob and include like some of the cool background elements from the show. So I sketched out this really cute SpongeBob marching down the street, and he's walking like away from the three houses, SpongeBob, Squidward, and Patrick's houses. And I kind of imagine like he's going to work, he's saying I'm ready, he's so cute. And I wanted to have the like life preserver, is that what that's called? Life preserver logo that usually says Bikini Bottom. It's like the sign that shows that you're entering Bikini Bottom. So I used that as like my title frame, and I wrote April 2025 on it. Looks super cute. And I used a variety of different materials to finish these. I wanted it to kind of be show accurate, but also a little bit in my style. It's like a little bit messier. So I used my Posca paint markers. I used, this is the Micron Pigma fine liner pens. I also used some Tombow dual brush pens when I needed like very specific colors for like different atmospheric elements. And then I actually also used a couple of the Archer and Olive calligraph pens, which I really like. This is one of my first times trying them out. I've used some of the other Archer and Olive pens, but I've never tried those before. And they're really great. I think they're meant for doing hand lettering, but they work really well and they have a really smooth, nice tip on them. So this was a really great time to trying out using them. And I thought another great way to make it feel more show accurate was to do some of like the plants and stuff that you see around the edges of the show. So you can see that like light purple coral that I drew behind SpongeBob, and then these like other corally plant things that are in the front. I feel like they're so recognizable and something that you might not expect, but they like really jog your memory when you look at them. And of course I did some kelp, and in the sky behind SpongeBob I decided to do the big multicolor flower clouds that they have, as well as the bubbles that they have on screen. And I feel like all those things together just look so cute and so much like the show. Where I do a theme like this where the inspiration that I'm pulling from is in like a drawn style, I always feel like I need to toe the line between like trying to draw it super accurately, like the way that it appears in the original form, and doing it in my own style. Sometimes I will try and pull from the inspiration and make it my own style, but for this I really felt like it would just be fun to try and draw it as show accurate as possible. So all of these things I really was looking at reference imagery from the actual show and trying to draw them to the best of my ability, which I feel like can also be a really great exercise as well. There is something to be said about, you know, trying to make everything in your own style, but being able to emulate other styles, I have always felt is a really great skill to have as an artist, especially like in my job as a creative. Like being able to replicate any style is also a really great thing to be able to do. So I find it to be really helpful to practice with stuff like this, especially when the subject is something that I already really like and have tried to emulate for years. Hey everyone, as a little break here, I don't think I'm gonna have a side quest in this video because just can't think of anything to do, but I did want to show something that I forgot that I had on my wall that I drew, I think when I was, I don't know, I must have been like 11 when I drew this. At that time, I was really into learning how to draw cartoon characters, not just like my own, but like being able to replicate other cartoon characters, like with like their shapes and everything. So I remember the first ones that I learned how to draw were Cosmo and Wanda from Fairly Odd Parents, and I can still draw them to this day. They're so cute and they're very easy to draw. But I was really obsessed with trying to learn how to draw SpongeBob because I feel like he was very hard to draw accurately, and I feel like I can do it pretty okay now. But I'm gonna show you one of my first attempts at drawing SpongeBob that I still have on my wall. Here it is. All of the characters are kind of scary. I feel like Plankton is okay, but literally everybody else is horrifying. Why is he so tired? Her head is so tiny. He looks kind of cute. I don't know. That was one of my first attempts at drawing SpongeBob. As a second part of this little chit chat section, I wanted to talk about a really cool SpongeBob experience that I did earlier this year. I know I talked about this in my January 2024 journal with me video, which was like pins and buttons themed, like enamel pins and buttons, and I showed my little backpack where I store my pin collection. I collect pins and buttons, and I wanted to show you because I have this new one. It's flipped, so I will show it to you the other way. I have this beautiful One Eternity Later button, which is like the time cards from SpongeBob. And I bought that in Las Vegas. Earlier this year, I went to Las Vegas with my family. We were only there for like a day and a half. We went to see a concert. But while we were there, we went to one of the casino resorts, Circus, and they have like a big amusement park inside of it. They have a lot of like arcade games. They have a circus that you can see in addition to like the casino and like normal Vegas stuff. And I really wanted to go there because they have a SpongeBob ride there. It's like a bespoke SpongeBob shooting game, and it's very similar to if you've ever been to Disney World, like Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin or Toy Story Mania games. It's very similar to that, where you sit in a like Omnimover car and it takes you to different screens and you like shoot at different things on the screen. I took a very bad video of it, and I'm pretty sure my video is vertical, so you're gonna have to bear with me. But this is a video of my family and I playing the SpongeBob game at Circus. It's incredible. Oh my god!
Hurry up and get this game.
Oh, so can we all ride it?
Everyone.
Yeah, so it's just like the Toy Story ride.
And we see the formula will finally be mine.
For fun and prizes. Whatever.
Minutes later.
Oh, not the pictures of us. Oh my gosh.
We can't make any more Krabby Patties.
After you come out of the game, there's like a SpongeBob themed gift shop there, and literally everything they had was so cute. They had so much adorable SpongeBob merchandise. Anyway, that's really cool. I know that SpongeBob used to be licensed Universal, I'm pretty sure, amusement parks. They need to reinstate a SpongeBob theme park somewhere because it would be so good. There is so much good like merchandising opportunity and ride opportunity. Like it would just be so good. Like imagine a SpongeBob roller coaster that is the cars are the Krabby Patty car that they drive in the SpongeBob movie. Like, it would be so good. Anyway, I just wanted to have my little show and tell time. So I know I said during the Pinterest section of this video that I wanted my illustration page to be just a big compilation of different like items from the show. So that is exactly what I did for this page. I went through my Pinterest board and I picked out all of my favorite little like props or objects or just like funny iconic items from the show, and I drew them out. This was probably the easiest page to do, and I also think this would be a really great sketchbook exercise if you're looking for just like a fun, doodly, easy to draw thing to fill up a page in your sketchbook with. All of these things are super easy to draw and you can just follow reference imagery. So I went through with my fine liner and I drew them all out, and I filled all of them in with pretty much the same materials that I was using for the other pages, my Posca markers, my Tombow pens, my Art Journal of calligraphs, and I just filled them in. This was probably my favorite page to work on. It was so fun. I will reveal at the end of the video when I show the final spreads what all of these are if you don't know what some of them are, but pause the video and see if you can name all of them, or you can leave it in a comment before the end of the video to see if you can get all of these references from the show. Anyway, the other thing that I wanted to talk about is a couple weeks ago I was hanging out with some friends, and at night we decided to watch SpongeBob while we were waiting for our Taco Bell to arrive. And we just threw on a couple of episodes, and I was laughing so hard watching this show. I was literally like almost cry laughing. I like forgot how much it really does hold up. Like so many of the episodes, even though I've seen them like 100 times before, they are still so funny to this day. And even while I was going through my Pinterest board, just like finding things on Pinterest, looking at random photos, even just like the still frames from the show, I was laughing out loud at like that one that I pointed out of SpongeBob and Patrick as like hippies. That one made me laugh so hard, and all of the freeze frames of SpongeBob's different facial expressions are so funny. I know that I want to do a page further in this month where I just do a bunch of different SpongeBob facial expressions because they are so funny. They're so creative, the different ways they like morph his face, and just looking at a still frame of them makes me giggle so much. They're so funny. So I think that'll be a really great sketchbook exercise also to try. Hello everyone. I feel like I haven't checked in since I filmed my intro. So I've now done 3 of my 5 spreads that I like to do. I finished my divider, my illustration page, and my calendar, and they all look super cute. I'm really happy with them. I don't know, I'm just like so pleased with these. They're just so cute. I haven't any idea of what I should do for my last 2 pages, which is my habit tracker page and then my moments page. So I think I need to return to my Pinterest board to look at some of my pins to decide what I'm gonna do, because I don't know, I feel like I used up a lot of my ideas, but I'll come back to you when I have an idea.
5 minutes later.
Okay, I'm back. I did a sketch and I started working on it, and it's really cute for my next page. I'll show you. Okay, so I'm gonna do this thing that I have done before where I basically do like a background illustration that goes like 3/4 of the way across the double spread. I've done this several times in the past and I feel like it always looks so cute. So for this one, I'm gonna draw the Krusty Krab, and I have the Krusty Krab sign that's like the shell on the pole, but it's gonna say Habits and Goals because that's the header for this page. And then the Krusty Krab is just going to kind of go behind the moments grid here, and then in the sky I'm gonna continue doing like the flower clouds and like bubbles and stuff behind, and it's gonna be so cute. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about in this voiceover is I just wanted to hear from you guys. You can leave your answers in the comments as to what your favorite episode is of SpongeBob, or like what your favorite reference is, or like quotable line, because there are so many, and I feel like there's even a lot of quotes that people don't even realize originated from SpongeBob that are just so funny. My absolute favorite episode of SpongeBob to this day is the Fry Cook Games. I love that episode. It's so funny. My favorite part is when SpongeBob and Patrick are doing their diving and they are like little ice creams jumping off of the diving board. I thought that was so cute and so funny when I was a kid.
Ice cream for ice cream!
Perfect entry! And toasted almonds, that's unexpected. He stuck it! And just look at that even coating! Patrick will be resurrecting an old favorite, the single scoop strawberry cone with a chocolate dip. Just look at that concentration! Oh, a little shaky on that entry. But just look at that form!
And of course, my other favorite episode is still the secret box, which is when Patrick has that box that he keeps opening and giggling when he looks inside. And at the end of the episode, SpongeBob figures out that what he's laughing at is a picture of SpongeBob at the Christmas party That episode just tickles me. It is so funny.
My secret TV! And my secret TV channel. What do you think of that, Patrick? Patrick?
Some of my favorite references from the show, I mentioned this in the beginning of the video, the reference that is my favorite and I use the absolute most is two salads from the Cuddly Crab episode.
2 salads.
Ew, gross. Those aren't salads. Take those back. Remove the bun, the patty, and the condiments.
But that leaves just lettuce and tomato.
Exactly.
All right. Okay, no buns. That's hip. No patties. Happening. Oh yeah, that's definitely the coolest meal I ever saw.
I literally say that every single time I eat a salad without fail. And then of course my other favorite reference from the show is, oh no, this guy stinks, from, I don't even know what episode that is, but it's the guy in the back of the crowd saying, oh no, this guy stinks. That episode is amazing.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Hey everyone, it's the next day. I finished all my spreads last night. I don't know if I showed you the very end of me working on them because it was pretty boring towards the end, but I'm really happy with them. They look so cute. So here, I'm gonna show you the final SpongeBob spreads. Here we have my final divider page. I love this one. I feel like the perspective is so fun. Like him running like over this hill away from the houses and stuff. It's just so cute. And I also like am weirdly obsessed with this border. I feel like it looks so much like something that they would have in the show, which I just love. So it feels very show accurate. And I really think these bubbles on every page really like brought it to the next level. And here is my calendar and my illustration page. I am so obsessed with this too. It's just so cute. It has so many good references on it. I don't know if I named all of them before, but if you didn't know what some of these were, I'm just gonna reveal it now. Krusty Krab pizza, jellyfish, of course. This is, I guess it could be Mr. Krabs' first dollar. Bold and Brash, jellyfish catching net, the clam with the diaper, the little baby clam, secret formula, sponge gloss, chocolate from the chocolate episode. I feel like that one's self-explanatory. This is a balloon from Glove World. He was number 1, Smitty Werben Jagerman Jensen. Smashed Plankton, the magic conch shell, the Krusty Krab uniform hat, the Wanted Maniac poster. These are the sunglasses SpongeBob was wearing in that really popular SpongeBob meme. The Goofy Goober guitar, of course, from the movie. And of course, the Triple Goober Berry Sunrise from Weenie Hut Jr. Here is my cute calendar. I love it. I also just love this edition. I feel like I'll probably add this on several pages just like as a little doodle. And here is my final moments and habit tracker page. This one is so cute. I love this. Oh, I got a stain on my sweater. Anyway, and here's some more bubbles that I feel like just make it look so cute. The other thing that I decided is, you guys know that sometimes in my habit tracker grid, I'll fill it in with like colors in a certain pattern. So like once it's all filled in, it like reflects the pattern. Like this one was a checkerboard. This one was like lines because it's supposed to be like a train line. And I feel like doing this incentivizes me to like actually do all my habits because then the pattern will be really satisfying. And I thought for SpongeBob, I would do horizontal lines and I marked the colors on the side here. So it's going to be like yellow, red, green, brown, yellow in that pattern because it will look like long Krabby Patties. It's such a cute idea, right? It's so cute. And that is my final SpongeBob spread. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see some more from me, including more bits from my daily life, you can follow me over on Instagram and on TikTok where I post a lot more frequently. I try to post every single weekday, but even if I don't do a feed post, I'm always on stories chit-chatting with everyone. You can find me on Instagram at Gracie Creates and on TikTok at Creepy Gracie Creates. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.